Hello everyone, Warangel here, and welcome back to the Eastern Roman Empire campaign for Total War Attila. We're currently now on episode 65, which I've been saying will be the final episode for this series, so I hope you guys sit back, relax, and enjoy the video. What my plan is for this episode is this. I'm going to play for the next 30 minutes or so, just like normal, and then at the end I'm going to cut to the end of the campaign, so we can go over what happened in the meantime, and sort of share some views I think about how the campaign went in my opinion. So let's get started, shall we? Straight into the gameplay. So at the moment we've got the situation with the Geats. I've moved a few legions up in order to attack them, and it's a case of deciding who I want to send and why. In fact, let's just go through the armies and see what we got. We've got the 12 here that can attack Emirate Augusta or Pax Augusta, but what's the public order? Right now the public order is very bad. If I move this army, it is going to have a rebellion next turn. I think it might be best for me to leave it, but on the other hand, because we've got one legion here, we've got one legion here, I could take Pax Augusta and Emirate Augusta in one turn, basically. So, you know what, let's do that. We can deal with the any rebellions next time, but for now, let's just do this. So, the second legion is going to march towards Emirate Augusta. It's luckily undefended. Yeah, those are just hero characters as tickets. Very easy auto resolve. Damn it, I can't auto resolve straight away because I haven't got siege equipment. Damn. Okay. I'll tell you what, this is what I'm going to do. Let's ask you guys to fall back slightly, and let me see. Corduba, Hispalis, and that is part of your terrain. Okay. We've got plenty of cash, so let's continue to convert these over. We'll just spend Colonia. Get some workshops going, I guess. Expand that. Get some more fields. Disband that. Okay. And now sanitation is fine. We just really want to get some artisans buildings done there. Okay, this is what I'll do. This army will march up towards Emirate Augusta, and we'll be able to take it out because we do have large onagers in the army. So there we go. Nice and easy, especially with the reinforcing army from there. So that's them taken out very quickly. Right. So with this done, I always wonder though, these guys always take the most hits in a battle. Doesn't matter what sort of strategy I do, the guard always take hits. Okay, we'll occupy this. You guys, you can march down towards... Let's force march you in fact. Let's march you towards Hispalis. Just because we are going to have to face a rebellion at some point, and I would like to be able to try and put it off a little bit longer while I deal with the Geats. So that's them sorted. Okay, what's next? We've got a rebellion here in fact, and I've got an army I just saw here. Let's kill off these. You had to run away, didn't you? All the way into the mountains. Fine, let's send Silo over there to finish them off. Nice and easy auto resolve, lots of artillery. Something I always felt they should have done with the rebels in that is make it so they actually use the units in that are available in the province that they spawn in. Because it always surprises me, for example, I can't build artillery in this area if I remember correctly. So why is it that they can get their hands on large onagers and that, whereas I can't build them, so how are they supposed to have built them? You know? Right, but without that, so we're going to have to march these guys somewhere now. We can't actually send you back to Carthago Nova, and we've got another rebellion going to be taking place next turn. Minus 36. Why is that? Jesus, we've got a lot of food missing. Okay, let's sort this out now. Food. Food. We'll get some basic infrastructure going. You need that to be gone. These in the middle getting converted. Capital is building there. Scriptorum is here. Reservoir. Okay. Trade jetties. Okay, that should be fine. We will have olive trees getting grown as well, so we should get a fair bit of food next turn, especially when I start getting rid of things like the things and get them converted over. Okay. But we've still got a rebellion coming up quite soon. Right. Okay, so now that that's been dealt with, next turn we can go after Lysipo and Pax Augusta. So let's just pop 2. Okay, you guys have got some rebels, let's just send up after you guys. Nice and easy, kill them off. Like so. Again, I'm going to just auto-resolve, get things done. While I might do a battle on this, to be honest, I've kind of... I don't know, we've got a lot of turns to go through, so I figure the best thing for me to do is try and just go through things a little bit quickly, so I can make sure I got all the footage I want ready for the video to be made. You know what though, you guys can actually move very, very far. In fact, you guys can march all the way to Elisipo. See, public order is a little bit stabilized right now. It's +2 and it's -60. So, assuming that's not from the presence of my army here, yeah, let's have you guys come and attack Elisipo. It's fairly undefended, there's no armies along the way. We do have this tiny little army here. But, you know what, I'm going to take it to settlement first of all, I think, and then we can go and chase after them next turn. Okay. It's a little bit tougher. Fairly even, but we do have the advantage. I'm just going to go, and again, Order Resolve, just go balanced. We did win. I just have to hope I didn't lose any units in the fight. I don't mind if we take casualties, because then they can actually get replenished. No, we didn't lose any. But actually losing whole units is a problem, but luckily we didn't have to worry about that. We're just going to occupy the settlement. Let's have a quick look at here now. Okay, we need to sort out food a bit, so this can be demolished. We'll keep the military wolf, I guess. That could be kept, that could be demolished, that could be... We'll repair it because we can convert it over. We'll demolish this because we can't really use it. We'll demolish this so we can get a capital building or a church building going. We'll get that for the sanitation. Actually, no, let's demolish that. It'd be quicker for me to get this done so I can get a capital building or something done instead of a meeting hall. Because what does this convert into, actually? Yeah, Scriptorium and that. Let's just do that. That can be repaired, we can start the conversion over next turn. So already we pretty much finished off the Geats. We've only got they got one army here. There's a minor settlement there and a tiny army up here. Very easy for us to take out, in fact. We've got 3 legions as well we can pick from, so it's going to be a fairly easy fight next time. So that done, let's move on to another army. What's over here? Okay, so we've got this tiny little Lazican force, but it's not capable of actually fighting me in any way. It's only got 2 units. Even if they hire a whole bunch of mercenaries, I am going to defeat them easily. So you guys, we can just have you force march, I think, to get over to the side here as quickly as we can. Do I want you guys to stop along the way? We can't, actually. Let's just have you march. We can easily replenish along the way, I think. So let's have you guys come straight up towards here if we can. Okay, we'll get the next turn. That's fine. Let's have a look. Cortez, you guys are in a position, actually. We can move them straight towards Anacopia right here. So, let's do that. Because, let's see, Samadar belongs to Africa.
Like kennel dogs.
Tell you what, I'm going to keep it sieged for a second, because I just want to check out. Samadar belongs to Africa, which is fine. It means we can still take this one. What about what's going on up here? You guys are laying siege to it right now. I think they're just... I don't know if... I can't tell. Are they raising it? Or are they raiding it, I should say? Or are they just laying siege? I can't tell. Okay. We'll take it anyway. And I will occupy it. And then I can start marching the army up north. And depending what Africa does, depends on what I end up doing to them. So, let's just take that. It's nice and easy. Occupy it.
We hunger for battle.
Again, spend some money to convert it over. Okay, that could be fine. We'll keep the Fish and Wolf. Great Hall. We'll demolish that. We'll swap the playground over eventually. We'll keep the smokehouse and do that, and we'll keep that. That's quite funny. They've got a celestial temple, so Tengriism has been the main religion in this area. In fact, let's have a quick look. Yeah, 54% of the population are currently following Tengriism. Latin Christianity is second, minor religion is third, 16%, and rising. Huh, interesting. Okay, but we've taken the settlement, we can start doing all the stuff we need to do next turn with that. Anyone, who's next? Down here. I would like to use this army for something, because at the moment it's just sitting here doing nothing, but, well, it's not doing anything. We're trying to keep public order under control, but it's actually quite bad at the moment. It's still got -4, despite having a full stack here, and the fact that we've kept the region under my control for quite some time. I wonder... let me think about something. Because we've got this tiny little army here, but we have actually... My faction leader is just here, and Sidious Lurko. You know what I'm going to do? Let's do this. Let's disband this force, because we don't really need it up here. So you guys... Okay, thank you for the pop-ups. Alright, you guys are taking attrition right now, so let's move you into Pateska. And we can get to replenishment back. So that means then, if we head back down to Ethiopia, I can actually recruit a second army here. Like, say right here. I suppose as good as any. Let's do this. So we'll use you, and we'll just... Yeah, let's just use this. Tiny little one. If possible, if I want to eventually build another army, I would like to have that 7-star legacy already, you know? You can pop in here, and I'm just going to hire a whole bunch of Auxilia Palatine. Yeah, that would do nicely. Now, I did remember I had a guy I could pick. Did I give it to someone already, though? It was a guy that basically would allow religious conversion to be done very quickly, because that's the problem right now that I've got. You haven't got one. Hang on, what about... Was it this guy that had it?
Commander.
Yes, here he is. Speaker in tongues. Plus 10 religious influence of Greek Christianity in the local region. That is something I need. So if I'm going to use Union for army purposes, let's give you the silver shields. I think you would do quite nicely there. And then you can have that chap. Where is he? Probably somewhere at the bottom. Praetorian Guard, Battlefield Runner, Speaker in Tongues. Here we are. So he will get the religious issues under control a bit. Yeah, because it's still -12 right now, despite having 65% Greek Christianity in the area. So you can keep the people under control a bit, and you can actually start force marching up to Alexandria. I'll probably use him to face the Grethungians, but I don't know what's going to be quicker, marching all the way up through here or sailing. Yeah, let's have you go. I'll tell you what, let's have you march towards Cortez. He'll know how to get there, so he'll be able to just eventually march his way up there. We'll see it then. You're over here, Pateska, you've got Spy. You, what are you doing here? What am I going to use you for? I think it'd be better for me if I actually ask you to, because we're fighting the Alamans right now. If I move him up here, we can actually attack Aquileia and Verona. Take so the Western Romans can have him. And then I can push forward against this province here. Yeah, that will work. That will work. Let's have you come... If I can march you here? Yes, I can. We'll march him towards Sicily, have him stay the winter so we can get replenishment back, and then we'll attack Aquileia and Verona next turn if possible. I don't need to, it's just be nice for the Western Romans to be able to expand and have the full province for themselves. Let's just check the garrison. That's not too bad. That's a little bit tougher, but again, it's not too difficult. Okay, I know what we're doing with that army next turn then. Okay, who's next? You guys. Okay. Now, unfortunately, public order is still not stabilized yet, so I still need to keep the army here. And it could do with a couple of turns of replenishment as well. But I would like to be able to bring them down, so they can actually be in a position to push forward quite quickly. Could you march you guys here, but you've got plague right now, and I don't particularly want my guys to get plague. We could actually move them to Anabu. We can march them through the sea. We can actually go straight away. So they can get back in order to garrison the settlements, the province. Like that. And it means they can so quickly get into position when they need to. We need to spend some time now to sort this out, so let's do that. Fishing jetties is fine. We need the Greek chapel. Waterworks. And... let me see. A capital. There we go. We can eventually expand with the rest of them, but right now that would be the best. Logging campaign... I like that. It has no penalties, just bonuses. That's a nice little touch. Okay, so that's that you done. You're happy there. Lucius, what can we do with you? I would like to use him to attack the elements from this direction, because we can go after Colonia Agrippa, or even push down just north and have him reinforce the army coming in from Denmark. For now though, let's have you move towards Calamodunum. I mean, Britain at this point is very stable. Maybe just here is currently 0, but it is going to get better with time. We've got plenty of food, mainly thanks to the goat pens and that. Yeah, to be honest, I'm just going to leave. I think I can leave Britain pretty okay. I mean, here is a slight problem. Why are you -6? Religious differences, immigration. Okay, there's not really anything I can do here apart from have another army. Let me see. We're building a capital that will give me +3, so that's -3, and eventually it will go down as we're having less war in the area. So, and we are building a Greek chapel to start the religious conversion. So you know what? We're just going to keep it as it is. It will be okay. I think we can manage it. So you can stay here. You don't actually need replenishment though. Can we train you for something? We can. Oh, and we can do you as well. Okay. You know what? Let's get you in position. Let's start moving you towards Flevum. No, let's take you by sea. Take you by sea. That would have been the best way, but instead of taking that way. There we go. You can still get a little bit of replenishment because we're in friendly waters. And we can have him come through Flevum and march down this way. You can either stay in Attila Fadum and then attack Arigala, or move this way. I think it'd just be better than trying to march through the Abdanians' territory right now. So you're happy there. Okay, anyone else to deal with? You're on your way back. You're moved, you're moved, you're moved. Fleet. Don't I still need to finish off the Danes? Did I finish them off? No, I haven't yet. Okay. You guys, let's move you down to here. And you can block off the Danes in that little area, because next turn, because we can't move there straight away, we can actually finish them off. They may retreat, but this way we're blocking them off so they can't escape right away, and we can go after them then. Okay, how's that bit done? Is there anywhere else that needs to be sorted out? Let's have a quick look. Batica. Yep, we're fine there. Hyperborea. Yes, we need to take Silas and Karaskos back. We need to repair this. Okay. How much we can do there, though? Okay, Britannia Inferior, you're okay. Macedonia, you've always seemed to be having issues. It's so annoying. Okay, let's give you that. You do have the Imperial Library to help out. Is there a problem with food or anything? No. You should be fine for food, so why are you mucking around? Oh well, we'll just keep it as it is. It should be okay. Carthagenesis, you're taking food right now, but you'll be okay. This can be knocked down. Scanza, again, you're being sorted. Ethiopia, you're fine. Caledonia, yep, you're fine. Okay, you're being in the middle of conversions. You're getting converted. Alright, let's just do you quick, and then, you know what, let's just end the turn. Oh, once we go for all these different skills. To be honest, let me see. Let's give you Cunning, so we can get that up to normal. Servius, who are you? You're my general over here. Let's give you Infantry Commander, that would be quite nice. And you're my new general down here. Don't really need you for much, so we'll just give you that. There we go. Ah. I have a feeling that once I finish recording until I get to the end of the campaign, it's going to take a long time. I mean, it's already been 20 minutes and I've just gone through the first turn essentially. So, yeah, it's going to take a little while, but it'll be okay. We've still got a few factions to deal with. I need to decide what I'm going to do about them. I have to see what they're going to do, because at the moment I think it's going to be pretty easy. It's just a matter of getting my forces into position. I mean, the grand plan is going to work. I'm sure of it. Alright, Britain, you could actually be kind of useful.
Can you
You've got
spare
2
men to
stacks there.
cut a few throats? These people need death.
No, not yet. I might have to face the Abdanians at some point, but right now I'd rather focus on the enemies that I've got rather than try and make any more. Different if someone declares war on me, that's sort of just how it goes, but I will try to avoid that if possible. It's all about application and picking your battles, you know? Danes, you can't go anywhere, thank God. I was a little bit surprised that I don't remember when I was playing it. Like, I've played as hordes before. I don't remember fleets actually getting to count as a horde because you can't do anything with them. So I suppose but then I suppose you could use a fleet in order to attack a coastal settlement and claim it for yourself. So I suppose there is something to that. Just never something I really thought about because I've never been in a position where I've just had a fleet. I rarely use them. So for me it's always, if my armies die, then that's sort of tough luck for me. Right, Marians are over Corrales. I do want to fight the Marians. I mean, that's the one faction I do want to fight, I would say. Because basically I want to claim all of Africa. And they've got the last remaining bit, apart from the bit that Africa of course owns. So maybe after, my plan I would say, I'm thinking about it, is once I take the Geats out, what I can do is actually keep some armies nearby, because I'm going to have to keep the region stabilized. We've still got a bit of issues with public order right now.
My lord offers you
nope, you betrayed me, you're going to die. But yeah, because I need to stabilize these southern provinces of Spain a little bit, because I've just recently captured them and that, I think it would be best if I keep the armies there. Once their area's been stabilized, I can march 2 armies south to attack Marian territory and take it for myself. Otherwise, apart from that, really, it's just sort of sitting through the rest of the campaign and seeing how it goes. We've got rebels marching around. That's okay. Right. You failed. Critical failure. Batica's about to rebel. Carthaginesus is about to rebel. This is why we need to have legions down here after we've taken Pax Augusta. Okay. Let's see, what's the best thing for food? 74. Let's go for cattle herder, give me a slightly more cash that way as well. We can buy that. I'll get some more fields there shortly, but for now we can go for this. We are actually pretty positive for food, it's just public order that's the issue. Okay, let's go for that. Let's give you a Greek church as well. And cultural buildings. Do I really need the mine markets? I suppose it comes in handy. Let's go for an open dryer. Increasing sanitation, that's always good. Okay. So now it's time to finish off the Geats. Oh, let's convert these over now as well while I remember. Okay, let's do that. Demolish. Demolish. Let's get the religious building going. And convert this over. Let's just go for a reservoir. Get that extra little bit of public order. It's going to be useful. Town. What's the food situation like? It is good. So I think we can just convert straight over to a town on my own. We can get rid of Sacred Ground. Get rid of the Chieftain's Hall. Okay. And finally, what's going up here at Bakara? That's fine. We will go for a goldsmith. And we'll just go for another field here. Better than nothing, I guess. Okay. Let's finish off now the Geats. So we do have this small little army right up here, which I would like to try and chase after. So could we use you or you? Can we attack? We can't quite attack them yet with this army, but yeah, let's have you guys come up here and deal with the warriors of the Wolf Father. So you can get them next turn. You guys now can come down and attack Pax Augusta. Let's have you guys come forward and attack initially. Okay, balance boss. About balanced, but we're just going to use some reinforcements and just overwhelm the people. So let's do that. Come over here.
Commander.
Alright, this should make the battle a lot easier now. Yeah, very much easier. Just going to go a nice balanced auto-resolve. We outnumber the enemy quite a bit. This should be pretty straightforward. There we go. A few casualties, especially from the Hitaria Guard. I always seem to lose men from this unit, but they did kill 167 by themselves, so they're not too bad, I guess. But what to do now with the Geats? I feel tempted to choose Occupy, just so they can actually wipe them out, but then I do have their horde, their army up north that will be a horde. You know what? I'm going to subjugate them. Why not? Keep them around for a bit longer. We'll see. So you guys have been subjugated, you've got your army up there, a tiny little army there, sorted. So now we can move off now with the other, my armies again. See, you guys can march back up here to keep public order here. You guys can force march. In fact, we could actually see what units I can recruit from here. Oh, just slingers. Nothing interesting. Okay, let's move you guys back to Hispanus because we're going to have a rebellion taking place next turn. See, you guys can march back here. Now let's march you guys up towards Talentum.
Set up the watch.
Because Kafka Nova should be able to hold if the rebel army comes to siege it, but these minor settlements up here will basically be attacked straight away if I'm not careful. So there we go, that's the Geats sorted out. We're just in the middle finishing off conversion here. And we'll be able to now focus on the Langobards. I think we can actually use the third to lead the way. I think, yeah, because, where we got? Pompello right here, it will be an ideal first target. Do I want to keep Pompello though? Probably not, because yeah, we've got the Western Romans own Tarraco, Caesarea Augusta is owned by Hispania. So to be honest, I don't want to just keep the minor settlements, so we'll probably just raise it to the ground or something. Okay, let's finish you off. Next turn, you're there. Okay, where are you off to now, guys? Okay, you're taking some replenishment, fantastic. I'm going to actually have you guys come to the wall here so you can stay in my territory and get another turn of replenishment. Next turn they can move towards Dagestan in order to take out the settlement there. So you're sorted. What to do with you? Public order is still okay, so we could come up here and either attack Tyrannus for myself. In fact, no, the Africa has taken it because we can't actually do anything right now here. That's an annoyance. Okay. Well, we need to push up anyway, so what we'll do, let's ask him to move here, because that's pretty close by. Okay, can we, yes we can, just about reach fortified stance. Okay, so next turn, if necessary, I can actually go by Tanes in order to help Africa take it. If they do, so be it, but I don't mind too much. But it does mean that we don't have anything for here really to help us. Why is a... Hang on, let me check something. Ah, it's a fortified town. That's why they're actually laying siege to it. Okay. Just wondered why they're taking all this time when they could have just attacked it straight away, but now I know why. Okay. Well, Celestian Temple, we're changing you over now to a Basilica. You can continue being demolished. You can convert over. Food is an issue, so we're going to convert this to a food emporium. This can be turned to that. A small city can be converted over as well. So that's that sorted. What's next? You're being built. You're on your way up. It's going to take a while for you to get there. That's fine. What to do with you guys? Now I do have a choice. I can either march this way and start focusing on taking Karaskos and that back. Or come down and chase after the Grottungians' armies, because they're right down here right now. So if I can deal with them, then it's going to take time for them to build them up, and then I can just go after Karaskos and that myself. Yeah, let's do that. Public order is fairly decent, so let's start slowly moving them over as much as we can. Let's see. Let's have you come to this side of the river, just so we can have that 50% movement in order to get back into fortified stance. There we go. We can continue marching, taking our time in order to come down after the Grottungians or towards Karaskos. We'll see what happens. See, over here, you're marching your way up. You've moved. Fleets, you can finish off the Danes now.
Bear down on them!
Right.
For honor
Just defeat them.
glory.
Okay, done and done. That's the Danes. I think that should be the Danes defeated because I defeated their horde already. So this should be their last remaining sort of stack anywhere. And in fact, we can double check. Yes, faction destroyed Danes. Okay, great. You guys, let's have you start moving over. You know what, actually? Let's have you guys come over to here. We'll have you actually go a little bit faster so we can get you there in 2 turns. Let's have you come and sort of dock up at Anabu, because then you can provide a garrison then while the army moves down south. Yeah, that will work. We'll have you guys become latrines so we can get that growth in order to get here sorted out. Let's give you cavalry corral, why not? Let's give you skirmishers. Don't really need to, it just sort of keeps the area busy. Let's go for trade jetties, I think, at Anabu. Let's increase food. I mean, the food is meager, so to be honest now, let's convert this over to fishing jetties, like I said. Okay.
Ready for orders.
You guys can eventually move down. Lucius, let's have you... Let's see, 50%. Let's have you move here. Just because I don't want him to get into any disease from phlegm, so we'll have you move here for now. And get into fortified stance. The Huns have arrived near Colonia Agrippa, so I don't know. Maybe they'll attack you. If they do, I hope they don't burn it to the ground. That will be annoying because I'm going to have to spend time then to rebuild it. Okay. You're done. You're done. Anyone else?
Ready for battle.
Okay. Nope, I think we're good. Oh no, but this army. Knew there was something. Okay. So you guys can come after Aquilia and attack straight away. It would be tempting to go after Viranum and that, but I might as well just get rid of these little settlements out of the way first of all before we move further. It's going to be a little bit tougher. We do have that reinforcements from that army up in the north, and I can't do night attack. Let's just go balanced. We should win this. Okay, I don't know what casualties we've taken. Hopefully not too many. Okay, a few more than I was expecting. I could take it. I mean, it would give me 2 minor settlements. It won't give me Ravenna because that belongs to the Western Romans, but I could take it. Or I could just raise it to the ground. You know what? Let's occupy it for now, because at least there's 2 minor settlements. It's not too bad, because then at least I can do the things like sanitation and stuff like that already. So, okay, we do need to get to that. I didn't realize that was a thing. Oops. Okay, let's repair that, repair that. We'll repair that, and we'll get swapped over to a farming colonia. I think that's everything. Actually, did I finish off ordering stuff for like the treasury and that? Because I have to make sure I get that as part of the... here we are. Governor's estate. Governor's palace, that's done. What about roads, was it? Yes, you need to have the mint done. Because we want to eventually build a treasury right here. Let's get a bit more sanitation going. Let's drop that, in fact. And start demolishing that. So we can swap it over then to have the sanitation here for better... It'd be better. Okay, that's everything. Let's get the turn again. Oh, bunch of points to spend. Wow, you have got some level for 40, my son. 10. Jesus. He gives him plus 10 public order just for being a governor in the area. Wow. Plus 28 morale for the commander's unit. Plus 10 morale just for the force in general. And he's very unlikely to die from unnatural causes. Wowzers. Okay. What can we give you? 1, 2, 3. And then we can move him down then so he can become Via Listris. Okay, Publius. You're a governor as well. Let's just improve your authority a bit more. There we go. And the 12 have picked up a new tradition. Where are they? Down there. We've already got the one for barbarian subjugators, which I think would have made more sense. Let's give them this one and civil duty. There we go. Turn. Thank you for telling me about Ragnar and the Tree of Woes. Okay. Danes, thank you very much. Okay. So what's going to happen from this point once the end turn phase has gone over? Well, what I'm going to do is basically end the footage for now, and I'm going to cut straight to probably, I'll bring it back when it was like the final turn, so before the 349s or something like that, so you can actually see the final video clip and we can go over the statistics and things like that. So yeah, I thought it'd be a little bit more interesting because, I mean, we've still got a lot of turns to go before I can actually finish this, which is a bit of an annoyance. I think I don't like the game, you know, Total War games like that, when they actually give you, fair enough, they give you a time limit, as in like Shogun 2 or with my Medieval 2 campaign right now, when you have so many turns before you have to finish the campaign. So it gives you that incentive to actually push forward and attack and, you know, take settlements. But I can't say I really like just sitting around and, you know, waiting for things to get done, basically. That's just boring. Anyway, the Allemans haven't done anything too bad. There's nothing really for me to worry about, so that's them. Langobards. I don't know what the situation is with them. They don't look like they've got much armies. I mean, yeah, they've got a couple of them, but they're not really big. I don't think they're going to be that big a threat. That's unfortunate. At this point of the game, it's really just trying to find challenges that I can't overwhelm through sheer numbers or anything like that. And I am trying by having, you know, dealing with different situations around the map. But if the armies aren't even that big to deal with in the first place, it's just making things a bit easy, I guess. I'll have to see how the rest of the campaign goes. Right, Western Romans, you're not doing too badly. Now, I know part of the one of the mission objectives for this chapter is actually to go to war against the Western Romans, but I don't want to. Like, they've been faithful allies for me for quite some time, and they've actually made me a lot of money because of the trade agreement I have with them. So I would like to keep them on board as much as possible. The Sclavanians, you've just got busy attacking... Where was that place? Heimer? I don't know, I didn't see it. But it would be... Do I send Ansius over to my faction leader, I mean? Should I send him over down south then to lift the siege, or do I move him forward towards Karaskos? Oh, rebels. Okay. You know what? I'm going to fight this. Let's end the sort of blow-by-blow account with a little bit of a battle. It's not a big one, so it should be done fairly quickly, but let's finish things properly with a battle, shall we? So we've got 2 horsemen, 1 unit of swordsmen, and some large onagers to fight. We do have scout cavalry, a unit of archers, a couple of sword units, and a spear unit. This should be fairly easy, but it'd just be nice to have something a bit different. I don't get to do as much fights in Attila as I would like to do, and for you guys, so it's just a little thing to finish things off. Hopefully things will be thing like, but Thrones of Britannia, of course, has come out. Well, it'll be out later this week by the time you guys see this video. I've already seen a few YouTubers having early access and playing through it, so I've been watching a couple. I don't really like watching other people's Total War videos apart from myself, with the exception of people like Devin. Serial Beliefs isn't too bad, but everyone else is just... I don't know, I don't enjoy them as much. But it's handy to pick up the sort of nuances and how to play Thrones of Britannia ready for my Let's Play, which, by the way, I believe earlier today you should have had a faction vote video so you guys can decide which faction you'd like me to play as for my own campaign in it. Okay, anyway, back to this. So, chances are the horsemen are either going to come down straight down here, or they're going to try and outflank. So, do I use my spearmen? Let's do this. We're going to have this here, and I'll put my archers on the walls here so we can block them off. I'll put the sword units... I'll tell you what, let's do this. Let's put you guys across here, like so. You can defend the tower then, and the enemy can come at us. And just to help out, we'll put you into studio as well. It's not going to do much against the onager, but every little bit's going to help right away. You guys, we can put over on the flank. Oh, actually, no, let's put you guys nice and quickly in here. So you're hidden. There we go. That's a bit better. If you guys are here, though... No, let's move you guys a bit further back. There we go. That's a bit better. Ideally, though, I would like not to have to deal with... Let's put you guys along here, in fact. That should keep you hidden away then from the onager's attack. There we go.
We hold these walls today because that is the task the Lord has given us. It is a noble task. We will make him proud that his people have such sons as us.
Very inspirational. Right. Hidden units have been discovered.
Our hidden troops.
That's okay. I'm not planning for these to do much. Like, what I'm planning to do is just charge straight towards the large onagers and wipe them out. Or I'll tell you what, let's try and do this so we can kite them away. If possible, we should be able to go faster. Let's just have these guys come to the end of the map up here. If they pull any of the enemy away from us, then so be it. Means we can just deal with them later. Yeah, by all means, chase after my scout equites all the way to the end of the map, by all means. Entire unit of this unit now. Oh, hang on. Are their onagers attacking my ships? Is that what they're doing? I don't know what they're doing, to be honest, but you guys can land. You're trying to smash into that, but that's fine. We've got there. Okay, those are coming up towards here. You guys are taking your time. Okay. We'll have... Yeah, so these guys are just shooting away right now at the general. Let's activate this. Let's ask you guys to do some heavy shot against them. The tower's been destroyed. Okay. You guys can... Oh crap, we're just going to get caught by it, aren't we? Yes, we have. Okay, that didn't quite go to plan. Let's get out of there. And again, just run to the farthest corner of the map away from them. We've got... These guys have come in. You guys can head straight towards the onager crew and wipe them out. You guys can start making your way over. In fact, we've got rapid advance. So let's get you guys going quite quickly over here to deal with them. Both of you are fighting these right now. So you guys... Up. Okay, that unit of Exploratores has already been defeated. Fantastic. You guys can march over here now to take out the general. Okay. Equites, you can march down here to help out. And then we'll have you attack the onager crew. We've got this crew from here already going over there. You're about to kill these off completely. You guys can charge in here and help out. You don't actually need to do much against them, so you guys can just come over here and fight them. Onager crew is about to deal with them. You've taken a few hits from something. Do these guys have shots? I can't remember. Okay, you guys can now go after the onager crew over here. Killed the general.
Excellent.
Okay. Can we pull you guys back? And we'll have... Okay, general's been... Horsemen have been defeated. That's not done, that's not done. The only thing left to do now is kill off these equites. Okay, let's have you guys come after them here. You guys can form up. Right, which direction are you guys going to go? Okay, we need to bring them back here because at the moment they're going to go after my Marines, which is going to be a little bit unfortunate. Well, I'll tell you what, let's have you guys form up here. If we can embrace them, and maybe it won't be too bad once they attack. But I don't think they're going to be able to hold it too much. Let's give you that. Okay, you guys can come against them. You guys are charging straight to them. Exploratores, come again. Prevatores, go and help them out. Armored Legio. Basically, I just have everyone attack that enemy unit. In whichever way, shape, and form they can. Okay, you're about to win. You've broken.
Men have thrown down their weapons and are fleeing.
Okay, that's fine. We've got other troops in position. We're gonna go after them. Okay, you guys are about to pin them. Alright. Can we shout encouragement to you? Okay, hang on in there. Come on. Damn it. Fine, let's do this the hard way. Okay. You guys, Testudo, you guys pull back. You guys get ready here. Alright, time to see what the enemy cav are going to do next. It's only them. We're now in Testudo, so if they try to attack, it's going to be quite difficult for them to manage. Stand ready, quickly. Shields up, points out. That's a very crappy charge, I must say. That was terrible. Some of you guys charging, you can do steady to help out a little bit. Prefectores come in and help out as well. You're not going to be able to do much, but just help out a little bit. Archers, let's have you come around this way so you're not actually attacking my troops from the rear. Last thing I want to do is them to get killed. Okay, Raven. There we go, we won. Like I said, nice and easy. Okay. So 104, we lost 114 men, they lost 231. We did outnumber them, but I would say they had a slight advantage when it came to their troops. I mean, those Equites Promoti are a little bit better than Equites, and unfortunately we only lost one person from there. But these guys did well, 110 kills. Very, very nice. Most importantly though, we managed to keep the settlements, which is always good to see. And it means I don't have to chase after them next... Well, we'll have to chase after them next turn. Okay. There we go. So, I'm going to... But for you guys anyway, it'll be cutting now to the final turn before I complete the campaign. So, thank you guys for watching this far, and I'll see you all in just a second. In fact, we'll just do it like this. Okay, so welcome back to the Eastern Roman Empire campaign, where I'm currently one turn away from finishing the campaign once and for all. And I can tell you now, it will be such a relief to finally end things, you have no idea. But before I hit the end turn button, I'm just going to pop onto the strategic view so you can have a look and see how the world currently stands in the game. So in fact, if I pop on here, the first thing you'll notice is that the entire map is actually covered in purple. That's right, I went ahead and conquered the entire map because, if I'm honest with you, I was a bit bored. I got to 438 AD, and about that point I had defeated every faction that had declared war on me between the end of the last bit of footage and that point. This included factions like Africa, Western Roman Empire, and so on. The only faction I remember actually declaring war on myself was the Marians down here, just because I wanted to take their last two provinces down here for myself. But everyone else was declaring war on me, and I end up, even though I was holding back my legions deliberately and only sending one or two at a time to try and take them out, they were just easily taken because they didn't have any real large armies. They might have one large army, but then I'd send two large armies, and instead of like 14 or how many armies I got right now, and it ended up wiping them out pretty easily. I think the only faction that actually caused me an annoyance was over here in the east, where the Afrids had been brought back by one of the other factions, and when they declared war on me along with my other puppet state area, they ended up, because I had no legions in the area, it took me a couple of turns for me to send my faction leader down here from the north to attack them. So they were able to ransack through this side of the map a little bit, taking out a couple of my settlements, occupying one or two. But once my faction leader arrived, it was very easily dealt with. So by 438, all my enemies had been dealt with, and the only factions left were my allies and my puppet states. So, I know, the Abdanians were never an ally of mine, but they just remained neutral. We had the Frankish Separatists and the White Huns, who were my allies, but they declared war on one another, so I broke the alliance with both of them, so we were just on neutral terms with them. Italia, Britain, the Gaul, I believe, were all puppet states. And then it was just myself, and that was it. So I got bored and decided then I was going to declare war on all of them, attack them using just about 3 legions. Everyone else really stayed down here in Italia, and I waited to see how much of a challenge it would be, and to be honest, it wasn't really much. I ended up then about 440 AD, completely covering the map, and so I spent the next 8 turns or so just sending my armies around to kill off any remaining faction armies, you know, like, so I can completely eliminate the faction until I believe it was 442 AD, where over here in the Black Sea, I had 2 fleets going after a small little Alaman fleet, but they weren't able to catch up with them, so I hired an admiral, gave him some mercenaries, and he attacked the fleet and destroyed it, and therefore eliminating the final faction of the Alamans, who came in second then in the game. So at that point it was just required me to go through and hit end turn a bunch of times until we got to this turn. So this is how the map is as it currently stands. We won't bother with diplomatic status and attitude for obvious reasons. Region wealth, seems that Constantinopolis is the most wealthiest region on the map, although if we pop these off we can have a look and see who else is there. Agriculture wise is a bit spread out. We've got down here Constantina, Tingis, and down here Berenice and Vienna are quite wealthy when it comes to agriculture. Culture itself, we've got Constantinopolis with the most, but we've also got other ones here like Pua, what's up here? Telefurdum, Bodegala, and even areas like Tuisus here and Emerita Augusta, making a nice little bit of money from culture. It's quite surprising, I think, especially since some of them are newcomers to my empire. Industry, the highest one was here in Thracia with Trimotium, no doubt because of the gold mine, but I'm not sure. Trade, let's see, we're mostly from Constantinopolis, but surprisingly a little bit of money from Anacopia here, and Ptolemy's. Fair enough. And whatever other it is, I don't know what that could be. So that's that. Public order, very happy across the board, although we have got a bit of red down here in Insular Orientalis. For some reason though, it just would not get better. I got some decent public order buildings, but for some reason it's just not making much of an improvement. But it has balanced it off, so it's now currently 0. Region growth is mainly brown just because pretty much all the areas on the map have got all their building slots, I believe. So we don't have to worry about building them up anymore, so that's why their growth is at 0. But Telekinesis is the highest because this was Hispania's region, but they never actually did much about fixing the ruins. So I had to set up growth buildings here in order to try and make that done a bit more quickly. Religion, it's mainly Greek Christianity, although I think all these areas... Yeah, I think all these areas were just stripiest because they've got my religion less at 70%. Is it 70? Yeah, it's about 70% I would say. If it reaches that point, it's solid. So yeah, a nice little spread. We've still got a couple of minor religions around the map, including areas like Magna Graecia, it seems, where Greco-Roman paganism is pretty high up. But on the whole, everywhere else is pretty okay, and we've been really good with spreading our faith across the world. Sanitation, I'm worried about. Immigrants, no immigration because we haven't had war for quite a few turns now. Food, there's no province that's actually starving right now, but some of the regions are going to have no food. Like for example, Karaskos doesn't make any food, but it consumes 30, so it's actually quite low. And fertility is about that. So there you have it. That's how the world looks like at the end of my game. Let's hit end turn, hit this. And I believe we should have like a video clip or something come up so I can enjoy the end video. I hope it's going to have some celebrations. I feel like after the past couple of hours I want... Okay, we're not going to have celebrations, it seems. When a video starts off with dead bodies scattered all around, unless they've been having one hell of a party, I don't think we're going to have much in the way of anything happy happening right now.
The day of reckoning has come. And when he opened the 7th seal, there was silence.
That's a lot of dead bodies.
Let them bathe in the warmth of the sun, for they are the faithful, the righteous, the strong. These words are true, as God is my witness. It is done.
I think this part is the happiest part of the whole video, truth be told. God, I was hoping, given the fact that this is the final video clip, that it was going to have some sort of happy, you know, like something cheerful, you know? A party, celebration, something like that. I have to say, I'm a bit disappointed now. Anyway, here we are, my victory, which is apparently a military victory. It should not be, it should have been a divine triumph. I'm going to have to check that out in a second. But there we go, the end of the campaign. So, what I can do, I believe I can upload the records to the Total War Chronicle, so I will be doing that well, I'll do that shortly, I think, just so I can have a copy up there. So for those of you that will be interested in following the campaign yourself, I can give you the link in the comments section or something like that. So you can go and check it out if you want to go through a timeline of the story. I don't know if you will or not, it just might be something you might be interested in. But let me just check out the stats quickly and have a look-see. So, yeah, none of this is really thing. The one I'm interested in is the battles, although factions encountered, 60 factions we've encountered, and I destroyed 50 of them. Total income, what? How much money did I make? Hang on. I've made 25,369,836 income in total. Now, I don't know if you saw how much I had in my treasury in that before I ended the turn, but I currently had something like nearly 4 million in the treasury. I was making an income of 250,000. Combine that with the interest, that's a lot of money. Wow. Anyway, that was impressive. Armies, generals. I want to look at battles. So in total, we fought 478 battles. I fought 58 of those myself, which left 420 that was auto-resolved. That's actually quite a large amount. I mean, I think it works out roughly something like, in every 8 battles, I've only fought 1 of them, on average. If we went with that number, so, you know, we say 60, because 60 times 7 is 420, so plus, you know, 40 will make, yeah, so it's about that. So I fought 1 battle in 8. Oh well. Nevertheless, mainly there were settlement battles, a couple of siege battles, some land battles, and we managed to win 410 out of those battles. Pretty nice. 13 heroic victories, we just suffered 68 losses. To be honest though, we only suffered 5 from land battles, and I fought most of the ones where I felt we were going to lose, so I think I personally only lost a couple of them. The majority of them will be things from settlement battles, where if I had a full stack coming at me with a tiny little garrison, I didn't see the point of fighting it, so I just auto-resolved it and lost. So that's that, but we didn't have any crushing defeats, that's something. 47,493 captives that were recruited into my armies. Interesting enough. But there you have it. I'm going to check in a minute to see how I did with a Divine Triumph, but yeah, I have to say it's now come to the end of the campaign. I feel a bit anticlimactic thanks to that video clip. But before I actually end things, I just want to take a couple minutes, because I think now would be a good time as any to sort of give my impression about the campaign, because this is my first completed Attila campaign, as hard as it is to believe after being out for 2 years. And I just wanted to share my opinion about this one in particular, because for those of you that may have known from me talking about it in the Let's Play, Eastern Roman Empire, its starting position was quite different from anything that I've done before. So, yeah, I just wanted to talk about things a bit, and especially now that this is my first one, I can give my opinions about stuff. So, there's a few things I wanted to bring up. Number one, was the fact that I did enjoy the campaign quite a bit, I must say. It was a different experience for me, as I said. Normally I like to start off with a small faction, maybe 1 or 2 regions, provinces, whatever, and build outwards from there. Whereas with the Eastern Romans and the Western Romans, I imagine, by extension, and things like the Sassanids, you start off the opposite. You have a number of provinces, a lot of money, armies, and you have to really sort of make decisions about how you're going to spend that money, rather than do what you do with a smaller faction and wait until you get the money. Now, I have to admit, I remember being a little bit overwhelmed at the beginning, because you have a lot of provinces as the Eastern Romans, and a few threats to deal with straight off the bat, and you have to decide what you're going to do. So one thing that did help me, and I think a couple of people have actually mentioned in the comments over the course of the Let's Play, how useful they found this sort of approach, was instead of trying to build up everything in one go, decide on a couple of regions, or provinces I should say, and what you're going to do with them, and build those up first, and then the rest of them will follow. So if I remember correctly, Thracia with Constantinople and that was one of the main ones I was making for trade. And over here in like the Asia Minor, Bithynia, and whichever one that was again, I made those my main recruitment areas. So one place was specialised for infantry, another for cavalry, and another for skirmishers, which meant I can take an army down there, and within a couple of turns, by cycling them between these very closely gathered provinces, I would have a full stack ready to go, which was quite a handy thing to do. So, as long as you concentrate on a few provinces at a time and decide what you want to do with them, the rest of them will come naturally, but for that, I think it was one of the best ways of dealing it, because it allowed me to focus my attentions then, and then go from there. Focus and attention also comes in useful straight at the beginning, because when you start off, you have a few factions already at war with you, like the Alans, the Visigoths, if I remember correctly, the Huns and stuff like that, so you need to be prepared for dealing with these threats. And while some people would say, oh, well, you should really just pull back, I know that was a big thing when Attila first came out, people were saying, abandon all your territory in Europe and Britain, and focus in Spain, Italy, and Africa, and build up your things there. It's like, why would you do that? You're losing money from doing that. So instead, I would say focus on your threats, deal with them, and have definite targets for that part of the campaign. For example, at one point, while things were getting set up with the Sassanids, I was fighting the Gaetulians and the Garamantians along the African coast, until I got to about here, and then I managed to just take one Caesarea when I was ready, and left it at that. When that was done, I marched down in towards Ethiopia, I think it was, or the other way around, dealt with that. And then I was positioned then when the Sassanids eventually declared war on me, to be able to fight them off, and I focused the campaign then exclusively really on dealing with them. So just some advice for those of you that's doing a big campaign. I was quite happy as well to have stuck with Greek Christianity. I think, given the fact that in order to maintain your buildings you need money, which for the Eastern Romans is a fairly easy thing to come by, I think it was a good choice, and I know a number of people who watched the series was quite happy that I stuck with that instead of doing what most people have done in their Let's Plays and gone over to Greek-Roman paganism. I mean, the only reason why you would otherwise want to switch over, in my opinion, is to avoid the issue of fighting the Huns, where you actually take a morale debuff. But to be honest, I never really noticed it when I came to fighting the Huns. Maybe they might be slightly easier to run away, but it wasn't really a big issue. What else did I want to say? I have, the main thing that comes to mind is, because I've now just finished the turn, I felt the mission objectives for the divine triumphs and that, I hated the fact that they had the time objective where you had to survive to a particular year. I don't have any problem with them when they can put a time limit on it. So for example with Shogun 2, when you know you've only got so many turns in order to complete the game, I don't mind that. When it got to the point, like I said, 440 AD, I conquered everywhere on the map. By 432 AD, 435 AD I should say, because that was when I built the Imperial Palace, I completed the game at that point. The only thing I had to do was wait for 15 years, or 60 turns before I can actually do anything, so that was an annoyance. If I ever go back to play Attila again, I think what I'm going to do is just simply decide an appropriate time for me to finish the campaign and say, I'm done. The campaign, as far as I'm concerned, is over. Because then that made more sense than having to stand there and just hit enter, 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 enter. So that, I think, is something that needs to be sorted out. And I'm glad that they haven't actually included it in any other Warhammer, like in the Warhammer series. They haven't included anything like that. They just ask you to conquer so many territories and what have you. So that's a pretty nice one. As for the campaign itself, I felt it was a nice enough challenge to an extent, but I never felt overwhelmed, from what I can recall. Maybe if you look at older videos, I might have felt differently at the time, but looking back, I never really felt like it. I had a couple of lucky breaks. The Huns, for example, I was able to bribe quite early on, so they didn't actually come after me until Attila was born, which meant I could actually focus my attention on other areas and other conflicts. The Sassanids took a long time for them to declare war on me, and when they did, I managed to overwhelm them in the end pretty easily. In fact, I was quite disappointed by that, because I felt, considering how much they've talked about, the puppet state of death, basically, when their puppet states all send their armies at you, as well as the Sassanids force, I never felt like that. It was just an annoyance sometimes when you might be thinking someone's managed to slip by, but that wasn't really a big deal, to be honest. I felt it was pretty straightforward, and I took them out pretty quickly. It didn't seem like they were well equipped and well prepared for a war with me either, that was something. Who else was really a threat, I guess, in this game, in all honesty? I suppose the Huns were, to a little bit, but I found the main thing with them is that I was prepared for them. I had armies that were designed in order to try and do it, and you guys gave me a hand with that, with how to set up my army composition. But because I knew in particular how to deal with the Huns, for example, you don't wipe out their armies, you just damage them and weaken them so they don't think. Because if you destroy them, they will respawn at full strength and with more powerful units. So you want to try and avoid that, which is what I did. When it came to Attila, I sent all my spies after him. I was basically reducing his movement as much as possible, and I would fight him once a turn. I would not chase him down more than once for the most part, unless it slipped my mind, because that way then you can get the amount of required victories against him and the amount of deaths he has to go through in order to make it so you can win. So I managed to beat the Huns very quickly, in fact, if I remember correctly. I think it was, 424 or something like that I defeated Attila. So yeah, that was a thing. I have to say that I was a little bit disappointed. I remember Creative Assembly did talk about originally having a sort of a system in place, because they weren't going to make the Huns a playable faction. Instead, they were going to have them as sort of an in-game event where it was like, as you play through the game, you unlock these seals, and as the seals unlocked, basically the apocalypse comes and the Huns swarm across the map. But because the players wanted to play as the Huns, they had to change that and make them weaker as a result. So that was disappointment. If you wanted to play as a Horde faction, there was plenty of other options. You didn't have to play as the Huns in this game, but hey, I don't mind. So, yeah. I have to say I did enjoy the campaign until the end, where it was just a hassle, I think. Like I said, if I didn't have the mission objective requiring you to last into 450 AD, I think it would have been a lot better. I could have just finished it then and be done. But, yeah, pretty happy about that otherwise. Anyway, let's hit me upload records. I can get that going while it's doing this. Hopefully it might give me a link or something so I can check it out later. I'll have to have a look-see. But let me just check now to see. Did I achieve a divine triumph? I did indeed. The only thing I apparently didn't get was a cultural victory, and I don't know why. What did I don't like at that? Greek Patriarchal Cathedral. Did I not build that? I could have swore I have some of those on the map. Let's have a look. Required buildings. What buildings did I need then? Greek Patriarchal Basilica. Come on. Don't want to know about the pics, I want to know about this one here. Greek... Oh! Oh, okay, so it's the chapel. Right. It's the religious building you build in the minor settlement, not in the major one. That's why I didn't obtain that one. Okay, that's fine. But there you have it, guys and girls, the end of the Eastern Roman Empire campaign, finally, and the end of this video, which is probably no doubt a relief for many of you. So if you check out, but somewhere on the channel by now, you should have a faction video, voting video for which faction you want me to play as in Thrones of Britannia. If you haven't checked it out yet, I recommend doing so. I'll probably leave a link somewhere in the comments section as well for it, so you can go and check it out and make your vote. Otherwise, thank you very much for watching this video and for watching this series with me, and I hope you continue to enjoy watching my content. But until the very next series, which will be Thrones of Britannia with whatever faction, goodbye for now.